click this and say, yo, what up? How's it going?
Pretty darn well. Pretty darn well. First deck doctor. Hoping to get some
Exciting.
advice from a well-known player of UFS. So see where we take it.
That's me. So hit me with the pitch. What's going on with your Earth Death Arms list?
So I'm really just looking to fine-tune one of the characters that I feel like I really haven't seen on a symbol that I think he probably does the best on for what he's trying to do. You know,
Sure.
Earth build stuff. He wants to destroy a foundation, at least knock a couple foundations on their end off, and just trying to keep up with the pace because I'm going to be losing something every turn. Something likely every turn. But yeah, just trying to find the best options for him and just see if I missed anything.
Okay. Fair enough. So I noticed you went with the punch package. What are your thoughts on Earth punches at the moment?
I'm liking it. The biggest one that I find the most interesting is Thrashing. That card is ridiculous. Sure, does the two check me? You betcha. But I feel like it works well with trying to string out some things, kind of like Chop does, Jab does. You know, bump up the damage on occasion, but it keeps things flowing. And the newest one that I threw in there recently was Smash, just because I found a little, you'll see with some of the foundations, I'm going to throw this Thrashing, bump up the damage, pick it up again. Try and find the most use out of the attacks I do have. So
with what card? I'm sorry.
Oh, Thrashing. Sometimes.
Yeah. But you added in. You added in Smash.
Texas Smash. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And you know he says 5 damage or 5 difficult onlys, right?
Correct.
You're okay with losing out on the stats?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then my last question, I think, is how much have you tested this deck?
A good amount, just casually over the past month, and against some of your bigger hitters in the meta. Of course, I mean, 29 health can slowly come down to 0 pretty quickly.
Right.
And that's where I think the Earth package does a little bit more for me in trying to survive those onslaughts.
Sure. Still doing a little looking. Give me a second.
No worries.
Yeah, you've pulled out a lot of stuff. Already 2 symbols. Okay.
Just didn't want to leave any stones unturned.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. Still looking. Okay. What are you? Okay.
I think the one thing I realized was I was pretty mid-attack and low-attack heavy. And that's also why I threw in the Smash and tested that for a bit, because I'm like, I need some high attacks.
Sure.
They're gonna find out.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to say I really do like the. Are you? Oh, but you don't have my symbol. Okay. Okay. All right. First off, Beatdowns, thank you for the gifty. I appreciate that. Let's do this. So I have cards that I put in way down here at the bottom. It was literally 2 of Sugar Rush Power Up, Pull No Punches. I didn't put in anything else. You put in every other Earth card in the game. Okay, so let's chat about the attack lineup that you picked real quick, and then we'll talk about like goals and whatnot. So this character is a throwback character to a character named Sasquatch. Did you know that?
I did not.
Okay, so Sasquatch was a character that had 2 of these symbols. I think he had Chaos, Earth, Water. I don't think he had Death. Either way, he said enhance your attack with printed damage of 5 or greater gets 2 speed and 1 damage. So they just flopped him. And then he had the same response. commit, destroy. I think he said destroy a committed foundation. After Rival's ready step, destroy or commit 2 of their foundations. And so, Death Arms is a slightly different Sasquatch. But my big thing about Death Arms, truthfully, is that it only gives 1 speed and not the 2. If the stats were switched, I think this character would be way easier to play. Right? 2 speed, 1 damage on every move, as opposed to 1 speed, 2 damage.
Oh,
But because of this, we've got some choices to make. So, when we look at difficulties of your moves, you have 9 of your 22 moves that even get this damage pump. So my question is response commit 2 foundations worth playing such a low number of pumpable attacks?
Probably not. There are definitely better characters that do probably this whole package way better.
But you just want to play Death Arms because he's Death Arms.
Yeah, I was just gonna feel it out, see what it's like to selectively try and take away some things to make my moves on my end maybe come through, maybe do some damage and try and control it a little bit better,
I'm down. I'm super, super down. Okay. And you said you put in the Texas because your block zones were all mids and lows.
Or attacks were all like mid, yeah.
We've got plenty of mid blocks. What are your thoughts on trading out Texas for something on the lines of Merciless Rush?
I was curious about that one. Regarding, I think my mind was stuck on, will I get this decrease? Because there's a lot of 6 characters. I mean, it makes sense. 100% makes sense. Plus, it gets your speed bump there. It's probably worthwhile in trying it out for sure.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. At the same time, right? Like, I think this character is really hard strictly because of the fact of, like, I don't think you can play 5 diff tribal. I tried it when it first came out. I did 5 diffs, nothing but 5 diffs. Man, it sucked. it was not very good. And so, like, maybe Texas just is the correct answer. Give me your thoughts on Forceful Blow.
That was also a pretty recent one. I think where my mind is okay, cool. It's another momentum spender outside of, oh gosh, just your back alley, really.
Right.
It's mid. It's so blockable though. And I get it. It gets the bump, and it was kind of trying for me to filter back foundations. If for some reason, okay, does my turn end here? Did they block it? All right, let's build some more. That way, we make sure we're not dying next turn, essentially. So that's why it's at 2 of at least.
I think that this card is neato. I don't think this card is better than Merciless Rush, right? Which does its same kind of job. Gets the stat pump, still a momentum out. It's a better block. The difference is this card gives you a card if blocked, whereas this card takes away a card if blocked.
True.
This also is your high zone that you were looking for. And then you've got
is.
Merciless Rush Texas as high zones. And you still have like Hardened Jab, Thrashing Haymaker as mids, and then Rapid Hardened as lows. So I think if you just took these 2 out and then just replaced them with the other ones, I think you might just like your attack lineup better.
For sure.
Yeah.
It makes it more, because they probably don't want to block it. They'll probably end up eating that.
Yeah, and 7 damage is not nothing, you know? And the other funny thing is now that we... You might have just given me an idea. This card slaps.
I absolutely love it. I was not convinced until I played it heavily, but I'm like, man, with things like oh gosh, literally the stuff that discards, the one with nature, I like dumping that and bringing it back. It's just like, Dang, this is kind of nice.
Huh. You're a mid, so here's 8. I just can't have more mids, right? Sorry, I'm already thinking of another deck. What does Tetsu Thrashing Ojiro 2 look like? I feel like giving this thing plus even +2/+2 is like silly, right? Gets +2/+4 from its own, or just builds a card in, and then you just like pick up another one, and then you use Ojiro to pick. All right, sorry, we'll get back on track. I'm gonna look at that off stream.
You're giving him ideas.
Whew, okay, all right.
Don't let him know that the 2-check is good.
Focused. Yeah, I think this card's incredible. Okay, so let's look at the rest of it. I think our attack lineup is totally fine. What number does this have to be?
Probably. That way we don't get behind. Probably, maybe the 62 to 65, 66.
Okay.
I would assume so.
66 is book. Being a little heavy attack wise is okay. The biggest thing is you're going to be losing foundations, so like you just can't fulfill that over and over again. You do need to build when you're done, and so that is a big deal. With that said, thrashing does help with that. Thrashing as well as things like jab, you know. Okay, so let's talk foundations, right? Male bonding at a 3 of? Why not 4?
That is a great question. It probably should be at, so I can at least see it. I think I was just trying to keep blocks even or as close to reasonable as possible. But
Sure.
Yeah, let's,
Totally fair.
If we feel we need it, for sure.
How do you feel about homage?
Homage. It's okay. That's why I didn't. I could easily dump it down to a 2 of and put something more important in.
I think that is the play. I think double homage and then 4 male bonding. And the reason we want to do this is this says that I take one on the chin and then Death Arms didn't go negative. And then homage, what happens whenever I've got like what happens when I don't build, right? This card is just kind of sitting here blank. The draw is neat, the draw is cool, but I'm not in love with it, truthfully. Learning Standards mainboarded is interesting. Hit me with it. What's going on here?
That was just to make sure I'm surviving.
Okay.
I don't mind because I feel like with the character itself, I didn't fear going into deadlock too much with cards like this, with his on-face ability to destroy something, just to make sure I'm not just getting hit in strings of attacks. So it's like, okay, pause, play something else, and then try to keep attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it was at that. That's all I've ever really used the foundation for. It was like, okay, if I need to remove it, try and make them do something different before getting completely slammed with all the attacks.
Sure. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. Okay. Press conference is another one of those cards that I think should be increased. What are your thoughts on press conference?
I love it. I think my issue is I was too high on high attacks, and I really didn't want to give up things like snack time because that card is just, I loved it. In combination, of course. Just finding the right things to take out for it, really.
Yeah, I think press conference is really important, especially as you're wanting to play Tetsu Thrashing. You're gonna run out of foundations quick, and this card makes it easier to play. You know.
For sure.
How would you new training method? Thoughts on it? I mean, new training method could just be instantly cut for press conference.
That's
what do
exactly
you want to pick up with new training method? What's the best card?
Oh God. Absolutely nothing. It was only ever for if I needed that extra block, but if I'm flipping committing, it's probably doing me more doing more negative than it is positive. That was actually one of the other ones I was kind of borderline. It was a 3. I cut it to 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, there are other high blocks for foundations that I
Yeah.
could just use.
Let's just swap them. Nutrient method's gone, and let's just toss in press conference. It's a span that's going to help your offensive gameplay, and it's a flip card that like we're down to destroy. Like I'm into that. These two make total sense to keep in here, right? Because we need to get our hand size low because of thrashing. Prehensile tail. Hit me with it. What's going on here?
Only I wonder for that very reason, because neat deadlock. I think I only ever the whole purpose was to, if I needed a guaranteed attack, knowing that we have so many foundations we're flipping. The one above this is like, okay, I need one more attack. I have a couple of momentum. Let's just grab it. That's why I really never increased it above, but I know that there's not many other deadlock hate outside of like the snack time, so it was always nice at the one of. I never desperately, it's like, oh, did I trash it? Okay. Did I pull it? Okay.
Sure. Is it better than a third apathetic, do you think? Or do we even need apathetic because of seizing? Seizing plus harden jab says that I don't actually think we need apathetic.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing easily test out for sure. And they're just better things that I'd want to build at the moment.
I think you easily take out apathetic. What's our block zones look like? Block zones are pretty. I mean, block zones are fine, right? I think you take out apathetic, right? Let's it's gone. Let's put in a third someone, and we could put in a third snack time if we wanted to.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Keep strings going, keep defensive capabilities up. I like it.
Yeah. I'm here for it. That's very cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm in. Yeah, that looks good.
I like it.
I'm trying to do more looking. Like this is like a really standard Earth. What exists over here, right? What are your thoughts on Sugar Rush and Pull No Punches as cards?
I think I held back on the pull no punches because of the 2-check, because
Fair.
I just, yeah.
And then Sugar Rush?
Sugar Rush? I mean, it always slaps at 1. I love it in fire.
Yeah, I think one of Sugar Rush should be in every deck.
Boop. And it could be that extra to get something over the edge.
Yeah, the only man, this is a punch, huh? Chat saying Death Punch is good. You're not wrong, and it's got that EX that out that we wanted. Maybe when this card gets banned, that's what it gets to be. But until then, right? It's like our high blocks are here and here, and those ones just aren't fair, right?
It's a good facilitator.
Yeah.
It's just so weird because, yeah, you're like you said, you don't want to go tribal with them because then you're just checking. It's just
yeah. Playing out strings is abysmal. On a 5, on a 6, on a 7 for a 3 string. At minimum, you're committing 3 cards. And that's if you check well.
Yeah,
check poorly,
which is why
it's up to 7 cards. We don't have that resource.
Whew. Which is exactly why I went with Earth, because I'm like, okay, rapid, could draw a card, back alley, draw or build, harden, just refresh.
Yeah. Hold on, what's our deck count out? 66? I mean, 66 is book, right? I think that this might be it. We made a couple small changes. You said you've played this deck a little bit. See how you like the changes of like 4x mail, 4x press, and see what happens. 3 someone with style, right? And see what's up there. I think my least favorite cards in the deck, honestly, are like homage and learning. Yeah.
What would be some good things if I wanted to test taking those out to replace with, if that's a route? Because we could always, I could.
Things like high value targets so that your blocking is slightly better. Like a
Mm.
1x petty squabble is not bad. Like a even if it's like a 1x petty squabble, 1x homage, right? Because like homage is fine, but petty squabble like shuts down defensive play so much. And then we're under Earth. I mean, it easily could be. I mean, this is a defensive card, right? Or excuse me, a disruptive card. Depending on how much you value like offense, it easily could be something like Revel. Revel helps you fill up your discard pile without making checks, so your Tetsu Thrashings can be live a little sooner.
Interesting. Plus free damage.
It is free damage, so your character just gets +1/+3 on every move. Because +1 damage on every move is just like good, right?
That could be really spicy. Like a 2 of? Just straight up tear it out for.
Yeah. With that said, so interesting of like how competitive are the people that you're fighting, right? If you're fighting people like Ojiro and Asui, you have to keep in learning the standards, right? If you're fighting the same level casual decks that you're playing, then yeah, play the Revels. Revels are going to be way better casually, right?
Oh, Death Arms, you aren't competitive though, buddy.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And so it really just depends on like in order for you to, in order for your character, the thing that is constantly staying on board, you need to make your main board come up to the power level that has been set by the people you're playing, right?
Right.
If you're playing nothing but like the best 6 decks in the game, then you have to play you have to play standard as opposed to Revel, because Revel is not good enough value, right? Not with the rest of the things that you got going on. It has to be learning because it's the only way to attempt to slow them down. You've got very little disruptive cards. You've got no disruptive cards. The only disruptive card we have is this, and that's offensive disruption, right?
Right.
Because we took out the apathetics because of seizing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all right though. That's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll ride with it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Excited to try this out.
Yeah, this deck has given me so many crazy ideas, man. Of just like what can I do with Tetsu Thrashing? Here is my second thing with thrashing. Let's pretend that you get 2-checked one too many times. This card instantly just gets to become merciless. The Nomu one, pay 2 health, pick up a copy.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of that card, Chad? Chad, help. Just becomes
Was it Relentless?
Relentless Barrage? Yeah, Relentless Barrage. This card just becomes 4 copies of Relentless Barrage, and now you don't have a 2-check in your deck. Does the same thing. 3 mid for 5, as opposed to 4 mid for 4. Probably 4 mid for 6. Just doesn't build. So the next one hits harder. And then you just do the thing, and you're good. You know?
I like that.
Yeah. I think the building is worth it in this deck, and hitting hard. It's in the sideboard. You're right. Every card's in the sideboard. There it is. Yeah, it just becomes this card instead, right? You still have the combo punch. The only thing is like this card has to have a tee off card, whereas this card doesn't, right? If you've got one Tetsu Thrashing and then ways to get these cards out of your hand on board, you can just sling 4 Tetsu Thrashing at them, right? You turn your 1 card into 4.
Oh, for sure.
This card can't do that if that's all you found. Yeah.
Yeah. More reliable. In that fashion. But yeah, no. I will definitely have to get my hands on some, but I bet they're not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
not bad.
I'm excited for this.
Well, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the deck list. You got my brain my brain's all wrinkly right now from this deck. Just like of what I can do. The Earth symbol is kind of cracked right now.
I'm excited for it. This gonna be a lot of fun,
All right.
especially at locals. That'll be fun.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
thank you for the help. I appreciate it.
No. I appreciate you.